Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel Hope. In this video we are going to be discussing the impact of social media on mental health. We're going to be discussing positives as well as negatives because there are loads of positives that go with social media and the use of the internet and things like that that aren't always discussed. So we'll start off with the positives. Sam.
So the first positive that especially worked for myself is, as an actress in the third year of my BA, is building a platform for yourself and kind of putting your work out there and in getting people to see it, and also communicating with other people. You can follow whoever you want to, see what they're up to, follow directors, casting directors, you can message them, you can get them, you can connect with people. You just have to do it in the right way, if that makes sense, in the professional way. But it is brilliant for that. I've made a lot of contacts through networking, through social media, using like a professional actress profile rather than my like normal weird one. So yeah.
The next positive for me is, I think, things like support forums. So as long as they are very well managed and they have someone that is, I don't know what they're called, but looking after it so they can see if anything negative or derogatory is being said. But I think support forums, especially for people with mental health issues and things like that, their carers, I think that is a massive positive because it's something that I'm sure didn't exist a long time ago. You probably actually had to physically go out to support groups, which obviously a lot of people who are carers and people who are suffering know isn't always possible to leave the house at certain times of the day and things like that. So I think that's a massive positive as well.
Another one is keeping in touch with relatives and long distance friends and seeing what they're up to. When we finished secondary school, loads of our friends went travelling and we got to see all the pictures and stuff. I'm sure you guys do the same of their travels and things like that. So I think that's great.
Another major positive in our opinion is the use of, well, being able to research things, so educating yourself. I know there was books and things like that before, and there still are, but there's like a whole world out there that you couldn't necessarily access before, and it's so open for everyone, so it's quite nice that everyone can kind of access most things, that you can learn about things you didn't know about. Also people can share experiences on different things. If you know, I'm sure before if people had opinions on things, it was very difficult to find someone who you could discuss it with who had the same opinion, whereas now it's really nice that people can actually communicate and talk to people who have the same interests as them and things like that.
Now for the dark side of the web.
First negative point is the web is very open, so there are a lot of things whilst doing research, which is positive, that you could come across that maybe isn't correct, or you know, when you have like a spot on your foot or something and then someone looks it up and and they say that you're going to die. I think that's obviously then everyone goes into like overload and gets really worried when you haven't even been to the doctor yet. So I think things like that are very negative because you Google one thing and this whole stream of information comes up and you suddenly feel like you're turning into an alien.
Are we though?
Possibly.
So second thing is sometimes people can create a false reality. Often with social media profiles, it's purely the positives and it's purely just the good stuff that they share in their life. So it looks like their life is perfect, when in fact, no one's life is perfect. One example is I was looking at my friend's profile and their relationship looked amazing, they looked very together, they looked very happy, and I met my friend the next day and they weren't even together. So they were very unhappy, they were arguing, so it wasn't what it seemed, and I don't think it ever is. Apart from sometimes, of course.
The next negative is false body image. So obviously this does count in magazines and things like that as well, but you see a lot of it on Instagram with the filters and things like that, and I know people can manipulate what they look like now.
Lots of angles, things like that.
Yeah, exactly, and it has been proven, like people have posted pictures on the same day where they look like they're a completely different person.
I feel like it's getting better slightly, people are beginning to realise it, but it's still there.
But I think, well, even though people are realising it, it's still happening like every day.
Yeah, I think when you scroll past, you still subconsciously look at, say I would look at another woman who's body is perfect, and you subconsciously still have that doubt that then goes on to you. It's not this woman's fault, it's the way I would look at it. So I think it's the way you look at it as well, if that makes sense. Another negative is sort of the opposite to one of the positives, is the forums, but sometimes if they're not monitored, they can be very dangerous. So you often get
catfishing.
Yeah, oh, yeah, catfishing. I also meant, you know, sometimes you can get people, like, obviously you get the inspiration and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So sometimes you can get people that aren't so well kind of delving in this. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you can get people that aren't so well delving into this kind of online forum and talking to other people, and then they're kind of feeding off each other, and it just goes in kind of like a negative cycle. So if it is not monitored, that's when it can be a bit dangerous and a bit triggering.
Our last negative is if you aren't like a party goer and you don't go with the trend and do what everyone else does, like going out, or even if you're not like, you don't want to go shopping with a group of people, but then you
would
see
never have that.
all
Charlotte would go shopping any day. Anyway,
yeah. Well, if you don't like going to parties and things, and you're actually quite happy to stay at home, read a book, you know, watch Netflix or something like that, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. But if you go onto your social media and you see everyone out and about, even though you didn't want to do that, sometimes it can make you feel like there's something wrong with you, or it can make you feel a bit isolated, which I think is quite sad really, because you should feel happy doing what you want to do, and not actually feel bad about it, and not feel like there's something wrong with you, because at the end of the day, I think it should be applauded when you do what you want to do and you know what you want to do.
And there are similar people out there. It's just no one's like, oh, just chilling with my book and my popcorn on my own. There's so many other people, they just don't put it on social media. There's so many other people out there doing exactly what you're doing, but just obviously it doesn't go on social media.
So that's the end of this video. We hope you found it useful in some way. And please subscribe to our channel for videos every Friday. Thanks, bye!